What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Meathead Podcast with our esteemed panel, Terry Pastel, the great bodybuilder from, was it France, I think?
France
in the late 80s. We. If you know who he is, then 10 points for you. Going clockwise, we got IFBB Pro Jimmy Mentis and future IFBB Pro Chris Pantano. So we're going to be talking about Malibufitmaxx. We're going to be talking about the Arnold Classic and the rivalries. But first, something Pantano did has to be talked about, I think.
Dude, that was insane.
Yeah. What did I do?
You're amazing. We're about to glaze you, as the young kids say, Chris. Yeah. Okay, so this is a shoulder press. It's a high incline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, Chris.
God damn.
Yeah. 7. 8. Woo-wee.
The eighth rep I got some help with. So that's my friend Mike, who's a open IFBB pro.
That's eight more reps than I ever got with that weight.
That was actually an all-time PR for me.
And you're in a health phase right now. You're off all the good stuff.
Yes, correct.
So psychologically, a lot of guys think when they're off their blasting cycle, they're weak. They're supposed to be weak as fuck, but nope.
Not Chris. Maybe the rest of the world, but not Chris.
Zero.
Unbelievable. All right. So yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. So that was a good intro, but we'll talk. The Arnold is going to be more of a discussion. I want to talk about this Malibu dude, because I never heard of this guy until like a week ago in my life. I'm going to play a video that explains the whole thing, because otherwise I'll be sitting here trying to explain it and doing a horrible job of such. So 1 second. This is going to be a little movie here. You're going to listen to the whole thing here. Ready? And okay, turn on the volume.
Is facing mounting scrutiny after online critics questioned his long-standing claim that his facial appearance is the result of reconstruction surgery following an IED explosion during military service. For years, Malibu reportedly stated that he was injured in Afghanistan and medically discharged in 2010 after an explosion. That detail was once prominently featured in his social media bio. However, observers noticed the reference was removed as his platform began to grow. Some online researchers began reviewing publicly available records. Critics point out that the military unit Malibu said he served in returned home in July 2010, and published reports at the time listed casualties and injuries, but his name was not publicly mentioned. Others referenced a video allegedly posted months after his return, showing him appearing physically unharmed. Another claim circulating online is that there is no public record of him receiving a Purple Heart, an award given to service members wounded in action. But when military service is part of a public persona, unanswered questions tend to grow louder, especially online. Malibufitmaxx is facing...
All right. Wow. So those of you who have served and those of you who are injured in combat, I'm sure you think this guy is the biggest piece of crap. And, you should. But, Chris, I'm going to start with you, because I know you have friends that served, and this one really bothered you more than...
Yeah, I was a little aggravated with it. What annoys me is the fact that he said these claims, and then it was part of his entire explosion of fame and notoriety on social media. And his whole fame was predicated on a fucking lie. And not to mention too, he got a sponsorship contract with, I think, Pro Sups, and he got 1.2 million followers. So he's making money on reels that he does. So it's like he basically lied. Part of his persona was him lying for taking an IED to the face and receiving a Purple Heart, where people think he's like a hero, and he's now profiting off of that. And the thing that I didn't really care for is that Stolen Valor Act of 2013. If they can prove in court that he profited off of this, like he's legally liable. He's kind of screwed. And I think that people that lie about stuff like this, just in anything, just to make themselves look and feel better than what they really are, is already annoying as it is. But when it involves the military, I never served. But I have friends that, a few years older than me that went over to Afghanistan and stuff when 9/11 happened. Like, I've got friends that have severe PTSD and are just mentally disabled from all of that. I have friends that are in the military that are veterans that are disabled from getting blown out of turrets and stuff like that. And I just think it's extremely unprofessional and just very fucking shitty in general to sit there and say that you survived an explosion when really you got drunk overseas and ate shit on the pavement or whatever it was and chipped his tooth and messed his face up. It's just such a disgrace to all the other people that have served in this country, for those that actually put foot to ass for this country, that have either seen some things, lost friends, or lost their own lives. It's disgusting. And then just to fake that you got a Purple Heart too, and that's public record. You know what I mean? Like, you can definitely see that, and that's just fucking. It's just utterly disgusting behavior. That, and everyone's saying, "Oh, this guy means well and he's super positive." Like, cool, whatever. But I mean, with the fact I support soldiers and veterans, and I have a lot of respect for all of them that go there and do that for this country, so that we can have podcasts like this and we can eat our chicken and rice and go to the gym and whatever.
Yeah.
We can do all of that. Even if this guy came out and told the truth before he got caught, I'd still think he's a piece of shit.
Fair enough.
It wouldn't vary that much. Now, like, I was talking to a few of my friends that are in the military, and a lot of them have actually forgiven him, because they're like, "Oh, he's one of us," type of thing. But it's like,
I mean, it would have been a lot worse if he actually never even served. If it's all a lie.
oh yeah, and there's a lot of people that lie about this all the time. My friend rattled off like 15 names of people he's come across that are all just full of shit. It's just he's the one that's getting flamed over here on social media just because of his profile is and his account is just so big. I just think it's truly just disgusting behavior, and it's a disgrace and to all the other people. I mean, that's like, Purple Heart, like, that'd be like me saying, "Oh, I won the Nobel Peace Prize." You know what I mean? And he saw an opportunity, he went with it. He could have easily nipped this in the bud beforehand, but he just played with it. And then all of a sudden his page and everything grew so much. And all of a sudden he's like, "Oh shit, I'm going to remove this from my bio, because if I get caught," there was another account that did a nice recap of this. And the only thing I didn't really care for what that account did is that he actually posted his medical records for the world to see. Like, I don't agree with that either. I still think his medical records are for him and him only. And those are usually sealed,
Yeah, you can't do that unless somebody has PMMA. Then you can put their medical records online.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Jimmy, what do you think?
Well, I'm not as deep as Chris. All right, I served. So, but the thing is that I personally think he got famous not for the IED. He got famous because he acts. I'm not here to judge. I'm just going to say what I've seen, okay?
Yeah.
He seems like a truly nice guy. Okay? And he had this issue with his face. And I think he got caught at the wrong time with a question, "What's wrong with your face?" And he did one of these, and it stuck. If he would have played it off in the social media thing that, "Hey guys, I'm really embarrassed about my face," and I'm like, if he really played it off, because he's a nice guy, he's playing like he's a nice guy, right?
Yeah.
And because a lot of people don't know that he looks like this because of an IED. It doesn't say. You got to really look into this. If he would have said, "Hey, I have this complex. I grew up with it. I really don't want to. I really don't like my face. but I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I want all the support from you guys and this and this and this. I think he would have been even more successful, if you want to call it successful. Okay. But at some point, he took it off his bio. Did he take it off his bio because someone gave him a heads up? Or did he take it off his bio because he says, hey, maybe it's getting a little too much here. I'm going to get caught. And he took it off his bio.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think, well, it is wrong because what he said, what he did. I'm just saying, like, do you give him a second chance? And who are we to give him a second chance? I know some military guys like, yeah, fuck him. He's whatever, like it's not that deep anymore. I don't know why. I understand why. But if everybody wants to make something of it, they will. If people don't want to think about it or don't want to do anything about it, then it is what it is. See, I don't give a shit. I don't care what he does. It doesn't affect me. It affected nobody. Only the people who donated money, who followed him and gave money to either a fund that he had or anything. Technically, it didn't affect anybody.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, he didn't start a GoFundMe. He didn't steal money from the public or anything like that.
So he lied. Okay, he lied.
He lied.
Right? But how did that affect anybody? I mean, you got to look at it. You got to look at the bottom line. Okay. Yes. Stolen valor. Absolutely. I agree with Chris. You go down that line. That's breaking the law. But everything else, I didn't give a shit. When I first saw him, I was like, what's wrong with his face? But I didn't say in the bad, like, you ugly motherfucker, I just said, I turned around and I said, something must have happened. But he seems like a really good guy. And I tell you, he seems to be handling it really well. Because he was doing all these videos, he's doing all this stuff, giving out checks to poor people or whatever he was doing. Okay. And at that point, is that really what he feels? Or he's doing it more for social media? So you don't know anymore what's real.
True.
And that's
I think the only people that would really have a right to be outraged are guys with Purple Hearts. And even then, if he's already.
But again, does that really affect them?
Probably not. I mean, there's a couple guys even in the comments here saying it's they're veterans and they don't really care.
Right.
Jimmy, we got a good Jimmy joke here. This is pretty hilarious. I'm not saying Jimmy is old, but he fought alongside Achilles. Thank you.
That's why everyone will remember your name, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yep. You were in the Battle of Troy, I believe, weren't you?
Yes.
Hector!
Mike Cox, the final word on Malibu.
Bro, people will do anything for fame. People will slap their mama for a click, bro. Like you listen. What people in the military do is it's not like it's a different level of man, right? Like when I look at military dudes, that's some real man shit. Yeah. Having a bullet whiz by you in combat is a whole nother thing that we know nothing about. Most of us will never know that feeling. You can't lie about getting hurt because people have lost their lives and limbs in combat, right? That's not something you joke about. You don't even joke about that with your homeboys. Oh God, there's certain things that are off limits, right? Hurting animals, hurting kids, and lying about getting hurt in combat. That's just common decency shit that every human being should know, regardless of if you want a click or you want content, right? Like I don't know. It's just a weird space to where it's a race for fame now. It's a race for, I gotta be famous. I gotta get clicks. And the most outrageous, outlandish shit is what we're looking at now. So it's just, I don't know, man. Like when it comes to certain like military shit, like it's just that's kind of off limits. You know what I mean? Like any kind of, when it comes to that, you just kind of that's a whole separate level of respect that I think every human being, no matter who you are. Right, we look at the military guys like this, like that's a whole like different level when they walk in the room or when in an airplane, or we have a level of respect for our service people. So you can't, and especially the ones that got hurt. You've seen injured veterans before, dude, and that's right. That tugs at your heart. That's a different level of like this man got shot for like protecting me. Like that's a different level of shit. Like, so for someone to kind of fabricate that, and they said, some of those guys said no big deal, and that's on them. But like for me personally, that's just something you don't do.
Yeah. If we stop talking about him, he'll go away. I don't know. He's already over 1 million followers.
Jesus.
Did he lose any when he came clean?
He lost. I'm sure he lost some, but I mean, he was at 1.2 million last time I checked. I mean, I never followed him. Like I don't find his content interesting.
What's the appeal? Like, what's his content appeal? What's the gimmick?
He's
a trainer at Crunch, right? Something like that.
It's very basic. I mean, I've only seen the stuff on Instagram. I guess he's on YouTube too, but it's very basic. Like, here's how I shop. Here's how I do this exercise. It's nothing like groundbreaking, but like Jimmy said, I think he's got the smile like permanently plastered to his face. I don't think he can physically stop smiling. So he's always grinning. He's always upbeat, chipper, positive. So I get that. There's so much negativity that people will gravitate towards someone that's got that positive energy. So
the question I would ask him is, did you say that you had the IED incident to be famous, or was that just something that someone asked you, what's wrong with your face?
See, now I had read some stuff online that I don't quote me on this, but I think it was somebody that actually served with him. And this person had said in a comment that Malibu basically, when he, face planted from drinking too much and messed his face up, he was like, "Oh, I took an IED to the face, like as a joke." Now I don't know if that was true or not. Maybe that's something okay to joke about with your military friends. I mean, who knows what they talk about like that? I don't know, because I never served. Maybe if it was a joke that just got taken too far, I'm not defending him here. I'm just taking a different angle here. Then I could see why he would say that. But the fact that if it was a running joke and then he didn't come clean about it to his followers that aren't going to know any better, that's when it kind of sucks. And to be fair, this guy's existence really doesn't impact my life at all. I could care less.
It affects anybody.
I just really feel bad for him to do this for the real soldiers that have come back from being overseas and are just fucked up, that get no love, no support, nothing.
Right.
And that's where I get really upset with.
Yeah. And here's this guy making millions.
Yeah.
Correct.
I get that.
So someone said, what could Ron say to get 1 million followers? I just thought that was funny because Iron Maiden, for those of you who are Maiden fans, the bass player, the founding member, is a guy named Steve Harris. I actually have a brother named Steve, but it's not him. So it's a different Steve. But 3 great workout songs for those of you who want to look out into it. Number of the Beast, 2 Minutes to Midnight, and Wasted Years. All great lifting tracks. All right, enough about Malibu. Let's start talking about the Arnold, man. We've given Malibu enough time. No. So we want to talk about some rivalries. To me, this one right here, this is the
yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Absolutely. That is going to be that. This is the one I'm most excited about.
And with a small show, they have to have a 2-man call with these two.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just for the fans' sake. Like, this isn't a big show. You don't got to rush. There's no other kind. Just let's focus on these 10 guys. Bring them out 2 at a time, 3 at a time. But just give us our money's worth.
I can hear Weinberger's voice right now. Nick and Martin. And the crowd will go crazy. So these two have gone back and forth. They've both beaten each other multiple times.
Yeah.
It's any given day, whichever one of them brings a better package, they beat the other one. So that's going to be exciting to see who ends up looking. Is this going to be the Nick from the Olympia again that Martin kicks his ass, or is this going to be the Nick from Pittsburgh that kicks his ass?
Ron, I have a question. What other time has Martin beat Nick? Because Martin, I don't think Martin ever beat him in New York Pro. He didn't beat him in Pittsburgh.
What? Didn't Martin only beat him in this last year's Olympia when he was really off? You're right. Yeah, I stand corrected, as Ron Harris often is. Yeah, I think I don't know the exact number of times, but you're right. Nick has beaten him multiple times, and I can't think of any time because Nick skipped a couple Olympias.
Yep.
So Martin didn't have it. Martin would have beaten, maybe would have beaten. We'll never know. This was New York Pro 2024. We know Nick won that. Nick's won New York Pro every time he's entered it, all 3 times. So this is a Superset Man did this. I don't want to take credit for the edit, but he does these comparisons and he scores the poses.
Martin's come a long way in a couple of years.
So this was almost 2 years ago.
You guys see Brandon Curry's latest videos and photos?
Yeah. I think Brandon's going to surprise. We'll take a look at. That's another one. I mean, Brandon, the Nick and Brandon rivalry is another one because a lot of people had Brandon beating Nick at this last Olympia.
Is there any real beef between Martin and Nick, or is it just kind of?
Yes.
Is it? That's what I thought.
Pray tell.
From what I heard on the Olympia last year, Martin was saying some stuff to him. From what I was told, I don't know if it was true at all, but I heard he was getting a little mouthy with Nick when they were doing the back shots.
Oh wow!
You could see them talking to each other, but I have no idea what he was saying. But we know that Martin said a couple of years ago it got him fired from Seth Roach's company, Axis Sledge. He made a comment on one of Nick's videos saying, well, something like, at least I won't throw a clot and stroke out and die like you, something like that. And that led him to getting fired from
Seth cut him off.
Yeah. He was gonzo, like real fast after that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's Seth.
But
I don't know, man. This kind of shit, I think fans now may not like it, but when you have a real rivalry, like when Flex wanted to kill Sean, he literally wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
And the same with Titus and Kamali. That was the most exciting, kind of like that Iron Man was so, even though we saw it later, just seeing those two battle on that Iron Man stage and again in Australia, and just knowing the tension between Flex and Sean and Dorian and Sean and Chris, it makes for, at least for me, a super exciting show, even with Linda and Laura Craval. Like there's especially with the women, there's that cattiness, but like knowing that these two are talking shit, you're gonna look for that. I'm gonna look for that on stage. I love a good shit talking. Like that's just part of sports, man. I love that shit.
I gotta say though, like I don't get the whole shit talking in bodybuilding,
right?
Because like it's not like Martin is doing something better than Nick. Like they're being judged. It's not like it's an MMA fight or it's not like that movie The Program, where the linebackers yelling shit to people all the time and then just like knocking the sonic rings out of them on the field. You know what I mean? Like
one anxiety attack, you're done.
Yeah.
That's game over.
Or just delayed.
These are new shots. I can't look at Martin's Instagram because he blocked me. And the guy who runs this account, Beyond the Stage, Suki, he's blocked too, but he got these pictures from somebody.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, but these are also black and white pics, so
true. But this is a lot better than what I
ever look. Yes.
Well, the garage pictures that they were showing the other day.
Here's one thing that I've noticed in the last 3-4 years. All these pictures that we see on Instagram and everybody. These pictures are close. They're up close. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you can see that the quality of the muscle. You see it. It's much more there. You see it. When you're standing 20 feet back, you don't see those cuts.
No,
because they're not deep. And I think that's where we all get disappointed. Like we see this right now. You're like, oh my God, could you imagine him under the lights and tan and this and that? But some of these guys don't have those deep cuts, and you can't see them from 20, 30 feet, 40 feet back. The judges are what, 30 feet?
Yeah.
That's a whole different story. This is in our face. You see it. So even if a guy is conditioned enough, you see every detail because you're close. You get on stage, if you don't have those deep cuts, like back in the 90s, I'm going back there again. Back in the 90s, you used to stick your fingers in the cuts and the quads.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't see this stuff up here anymore.
I can say this, Jimmy, when Martin was still with Gasp, like I got to look at his legs like up close. Like you could literally stick your fingers in between his separation in his legs. You know what I mean?
But you can see that his quads do have deep cuts, right? The separation, you can see that, right? Mm-hmm. But when he gets on stage, though, something happens, right? It's just like Regan Grimes, the same thing. These guys all look great on Instagram, in the gym, posing, in the posing room. But once they get on stage, they lose that. That's called quality muscle. And we keep saying, well, they're not conditioned enough. Yes, that too. But I bet you if they were conditioned enough, they would still lose it because you're back 30 feet and you don't see it. Look at Martin. Where are those deep cuts? They're not there.
A lot can go wrong too. Like those last 24, 48 hours when all that secret sauce is going in, the pie fillings getting eaten, and the diazide, the magic fish is getting taken. A lot can go wrong, right? We've seen guys 24 hours before a show in that perfect hotel light that show up like out of shape on stage, right? So it's hard to know what's legit, but it's Marty. He's just different because he's at that age where everything's fresh, right? The body's fresh.
Yeah, his muscles
are
young.
What I mean? Like
they're young.
Everything's moving good, man. Like
that
27, 28-year-old range, you're fucking Superman.
Right.
You're Superman, bro. So he's getting better, but I think that if he's in this kind of condition, it's gonna be hard, man. Like he's got those feathers. Look at his quads.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard. Whoever's off is gonna have a problem, right? So with Nick, I don't know, man. It's apples and oranges, you know what I mean? Or like Ronnie says, oranges and whatever, and bananas, whatever it is. It's just who's good, but they're both very consistent. They're more consistent than Andrew is with their conditioning. They both are.
True.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
and that's why we're sitting there saying, okay, we have to wait till last minute till they both go on stage, and that would tell us, because right now we don't know. You flip a coin.
True. So that's one rivalry. There's a few. So Nick and Brandon. This is obviously not the last Olympic because Nick has hair here and he had his head shaved like a cue ball. But I'm happy to see that Curry's actually starting to get some hype the last couple of weeks because nobody was talking about him. And now his name is popping up over and over again. And a lot of people think top 5, top 4. The top 4, like I did a video the other day, most of us have had the top 4 pretty locked in since that list came out back in December. Andrew, Hottie, Nick, Martin. But who could crack in there? If one of those guys is a little bit off, or if Brandon's looking phenomenal again, and he's capable of it. He looked pretty damn good at the last Olympia. Could he beat Nick? Could he beat Martin? Hottie's a wild card with everything going on too. I mean, if Hottie shows up at his best, I'm gonna stand up and clap in my room here because, geez, the shit that guy's been going through. But yeah, Nick, this isn't really. These two don't talk shit about each other, Nick and Brandon, but they're close. Nick has gobs and gobs of muscle. He gets in a great shape, but
Curry's got a much prettier physique.
Yeah, Brandon's got the bubbly look.
Yep.
Old man muscle too, though. Like you remember how when Dexter, that 2018, 19, 20, Dexter had that, when you get older, you have a certain look to your body, right? You got those reps under your skin. So Brandon has that like old man muscle, bro. And that old man muscle, it looks different on stage.
Yeah.
Especially when it's conditioned. And like he's got good shape, small waist, he's still bubbly. Like he could have beat Nick at the Olympia, and those pictures that he released, I don't know, man. The legs came back. I don't know how he got his legs back. They're not super separated, but they're a lot fuller. But like,
they're round and they've got crazy sweep.
Right.
Plus his adductors are huge too.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? And he had that kind of resurgence, that same kind of resurgence that Dexter had. Kind of, they dip a little bit, and all of a sudden, I mean, he's Mr. Olympia, right? He's got a Sandow. So that says a lot about Brandon, And
2 Arnold wins, 2019.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time champ. we got a couple on. We got 3, 4 Arnold champs in this show. Let's see, Nick won it. Hottie's won it. How many? No.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon,
yeah. So 3 out of the 10 guys in this show have already won have already won this before. But yeah, Curry, look at that. I mean, just look at you saw it better in the chest, but Nick doesn't have that detail, that maturity of the muscles yet.
It's what Mike was saying. It's that old muscle.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Yeah, I would never write Brandon off. Just
with 10 guys too, dude. Like nobody can say they're going to get overlooked. Like everybody's going to get a good look at this show. Everyone, So
that's one thing I love about the Arnold. It's done quicker. You're not up till 4 a.m. And like you said, if there's a call out, like in a regular, there's no reason to call out Martin and Nick, and you don't need a 2-man call out unless they're like the top 2 and the judge will make. But at a show like this, like Weinberg, I'm assuming Steve's gonna be the judge.
You create that little noise.
Yeah, I mean, he'll do it for the crowd. He'll do it because he knows everybody wants to see that.
And you hope it's close between all these guys, right? Like, and that they all bring their best. That way, you don't know who's going to win.
That's the fun part. That's the fun part. You walk away from that prejudge and you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Ronnie's gone. There's no more like, who's going to be second this year?
How many years we said that? 7? No, 6. I think there was 1 or 2 years, right?
Andy, Dory, and Ronnie. That's like almost 20 years of like, yeah, we know who's going to win this year.
So he's doing a lateral raise with a hammer strength seated row.
Right.
I got to try that. Damn it. Brandon did it. No, it's some interesting shit.
See, it's so funny. So if we saw some like 150-pound kid doing this, we'd be like, what is this idiot doing?
Yeah.
But because he's got crazy shoulders like that, we see him doing like, he might be onto something.
Dude,
science-based lifters. I always say, if I see someone using shit form, but they're friggin' super jacked, I'm like, whatever.
Dude, that looks absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, he's so round and full. Jeez.
The fullness, the fullness in the shoulder.
So how much synth? Okay, I'm sorry.
No, wait. I'm just like.
So how much synthol do you think Brandon's got in those shoulders?
Yeah.
To me, I don't think he's got
absolutely
anything.
None, man. No, he's had those shoulders since he was born.
Correct. I remember posting pictures of his kids, and they had already little belts.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So here's the last. It's not really. Everyone's a rivalry, right? But Nick and Raphael. I don't think Raphael's beating Nick, but I like these little comparisons. They're fun to look at. It's obviously that was not Nick's best here. That waist was yikes. It was thick.
He's so big though. Like that's just a lot of fucking muscle.
Raphael, I think if Nick plays the conditioning game and just comes in just like looking skinless, I think he's going to do really, really well.
Yeah. Because being big isn't for him.
Hadi Shaban second. What? There's no Hadi Shaban. He Arab. What?
I think he meant to say Chupon, but spelt it wrong.
I know. It's Chris. Stop with your shoulder lifting records and get with the program. Eric Lasford take first again.
Eric Lasford.
You're only allowed to do not smoke and post unless you can hold your smoke. Otherwise,
Eric Lasford.
That's the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I've seen Hadi's Chupan's name has been mutilated so many different ways. I have to laugh.
Didn't Raph take last year off from competing for some health stuff?
Yeah, the digestive issues.
Do you think he's gonna recoup enough to be ready to stand up there? He's got Raph's got a great shape, but he's never been one of the size guys. He's just got phenomenal shape and structure. It's like if he's any smaller than what he has been in the past, I mean,
because it's a tough lineup, dude. It's a very tough lineup, and I don't know. Maybe he surprised us all, but coming down fast, he wasn't like a couple weeks out. He wasn't where a lot of guys were. So, but he knows his body best. I'm sure he'll pull it together, but I don't know. We all say if he had another 10 pounds, but putting on 10 pounds of muscle at this stage in your career is hard to do. But for a guy, it's just such a beautiful physique, man. That's just
Those are pretty legs.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, man. Look at that.
Doesn't it concern you when someone's only showing upper or lower body though?
Yeah,
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
your legs look great. What's the upper body look like?
and
Legs
that's
look
more-
phenomenal. This was the last update. Well, that's not even right. That's an ad from. So this was the last full body posing. God, they always troll me with the thumbnail thing. I always think it's a posing video.
And you don't really see much of his back being posted, Like he looks great there. He looks awesome by himself.
Yeah. How much does he weigh?
That I don't know.
I seem to remember like 260. He's like 5'11". He's not a short guy. But I don't know if he's going to be. That was a week ago. I mean, I don't think the condition is going to be where him and Neil really want it to be.
Does he beat Mo?
They can. What's that?
Does he beat Mo?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, I don't.
It won't be hard.
Foda's looking freakish. He's getting accused.
That's my boy right there, man. Like
and the thing about Mo is he's posting all of his shots. Like that is gnarly, man.
Yeah.
That was 5 days out.
Maybe
This is empty stomach. No pump. You got to let everyone know that.
Of course.
No pump and no food. Because otherwise he'd be obviously a little fuller than that.
But you know what? He doesn't look flat. That's what's crazy to me.
Look at that.
No.
Serratus is freaking etched out of stone there.
You just hope he doesn't spill that over too much. You know what I mean?
I still have him in. People are going to roast me. I have him in 5th place.
That's actually where
that's what I had him too.
I have him in 5th or 6th. So
I mean, I have him, but I'm looking at Brandon. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does he beat Brandon? I don't know.
That's the legs. The legs is what get me. Look at that, the separation in his quads.
In great shape too. See his legs are just. He's got the sweep. He's got the inner thigh.
Big delts.
Giles
Chest.
Giles compares him to Hottie. He thinks they have similar physiques.
He's prettier than Hottie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hottie
He's
would be
hard for the
prettier.
back.
Hottie would be prettier if he was a little taller, I think.
But Hottie's dense though. Hottie's from the back. He's really thick. His back's super thick.
Yeah, but Foda looks
that's because Hottie lifts really heavy. Like that's what that heavy lifting does to you. It creates that just dense, thick, striated muscle.
Yep.
Yeah, so man, he's looking great. Who else was it? These were the pictures that kind of went viral.
How tall is Mo? He's not that tall, is he?
I've never met him. Is
I don't know. I have no clue.
I'm gonna say between 5 foot and 6 foot, somewhere in there.
But he is doing Detroit though. I think next week, right? He says he thinks he's doing Detroit for sure.
I've heard Wesley. I don't know who else is confirmed for Detroit. We want to look at Andrew? Of course we do. But Andrew only shows like a shoulder or an arm.
So I'm in a group chat that we always just discuss bodybuilding, and what came up in the group chat is somebody heard that Andrew was 310 as of like a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Now, I mean, that's like what was he on the Olympia? Like he was it like high 280s or like 290? Like that's
he was up 290, so he was close to 3.
yeah,
Well,
so like another like 13, 14 pounds he's added.
Yeah,
Do you
on a
think that's going to
613?
affect his overall conditioning?
He could.
I did a whole video. I did a thing with Giles, a power hour last week, because Kamal was the one that leaked the body weight, 310.
Oh, okay, yep.
And there's a whole set of pictures that I was not allowed to show. But he did look to me about the same size as Romania, which was a fuller look than the Olympia, not as conditioned. I wasn't 100% happy with, although I got to say, to be fair, 3 of the pictures he wasn't even flexing. I'm like, why'd he even send this picture? It was like it was I would have just sent the ones where he was flexing. But from the front, he was rock hard. The back, I wanted to see a little bit more, but that was like at that was about 2 weeks out, 2.5. So he's got time to dial it in. You can't tell from this. It's just showing the arms and the shoulders.
But you know what? Samson wasn't crazy shredded when he won the Olympia or the Arnold Classic either.
Exactly.
Right? So I think these two guys, they're just so overwhelmingly pretty and big that they don't have to get really super dug out. We want them to as fans. We want to see them look like Rodney Coleman in 03 or 98, right? That's what we want to see. But that may not be in the cards for these guys. But it may be enough. But you're going to have people that say, oh, well, he's not shredded enough to win. But when it's more than just condition isn't the only factor in judging a bodybuilding competition, right?
Well, they're also judging what's on stage.
Samson last year, he pushed the condition and he looked a little stringy.
Right.
Even though he's still bigger than all of us, almost combined, he still looked, stringy. You know what I mean? Because like that full round look is what works for him. Like Andrew Jack, like that crazy full round look, and you guys all know it's really hard to be crazy round and bubbly and full and be hard and dry at the same time. They're always trying to find like that good mix.
Can Mo beat Martin or Nick? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, not yet.
It'd be miraculous.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about like the top 5 in the world. If they're going, those two. 4, 5, and 6 in the world.
Anthony Williams, dark horse. Yeah, I did a video about who could really surprise us. Obviously, there's only 10 guys, so how many surprises can there really be, right? But let's take a look at his update. He's got incredible shape, Anthony.
He's dense.
Yeah, and he's made a lot of progress from when he won the Arnold Amateur, got his card at Arnold Amateur,
and he looked good then.
Yeah,
this was then. That was a year ago. Yeah, the shape isn't. He's got.
Yeah,
but he couldn't really ask for much better shape than that.
A big dude.
So this was a week ago. This is the most recent posing update. This was a week ago. Got John Jewett there coaching him. John doesn't miss with condition with his guys.
No.
So we know he's going to get his glutes. Everything's already. We know what the conditions are. The only thing I was looking at the back, but
that's the back. Yep, I was going to say the same thing, Ron.
Needs more back.
He needs more time. He needs time.
Yep.
It's just literally this is his pro debut.
Yeah,
that's a good shot though, man. Like
man,
that's
his waist is so small, man.
That's what. Yeah, it sets it off, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like if his waist was a couple inches thicker, that wouldn't be nearly as good. But man, he looks good.
Do the front double, Anthony. Come on. His front double is one of the craziest.
So somebody like this, right? He does the Arnold. Do you throw him into another show after this?
Detroit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're Detroit.
Is he going to Detroit?
He better.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
So I'm saying if you're already in shape, it's a week later.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour drive north. Just do it.
Where's he in Ohio?
Take a couple Happy Meals along the way.
Is he in Ohio?
He's in Ohio, guys.
Yeah, Columbus is right there. I mean, Lee could literally just drive right up 75 north, right there.
I defer to Mike on all matters Ohio.
Yes, man. Yes, sir. We got this road trip.
Got the Ohio State tattooed on his forearm.
OHIO. Michigan sucks.
Michigan.
Had to get in.
With the college football. Yeah, I got to go to the front double. It's an older shot, but geez, I can never get over it. It was these 4 pictures. This was
we saw that.
Yeah, that front double is something.
So you imagine this with like another 5-10 more pounds of muscle.
But do you also see how he's leaning back? Everybody's starting to lean back on the double lat to flare out the lats. Mm-hmm. If he stood taller, like posed big, he would have looked bigger. See how you kind of see how he's leaning back away to flare the lats.
I think I like that flare though. To me,
I know, but the thing is, you can see that he's leaning back.
Yeah,
you can still flare the lats out.
Jimmy, here's the thing: his back is probably his weakest body part, right? So now think of this pose here when he brings his back up, where how those lats are going to just like fling out to the front on this pose. It's going to make that pose look so much better once he improves a little bit.
God, he's so big, man. That waist is just like a Brian Buchanan type waist. You know what I mean? That wasp waist, man. That is just impressive, and that's just genetics. Like that's picking the right parents. But like that front double is such a powerful pose when somebody get a small waist like that. When he hits it, it just captivates everything, dude. Like that's like the money shot for him, and the tight abs. And like you said, Jewett's going to bring him in condition. So I don't know. This dude can. It'll be interesting to see him next to some of the shorter guys. Right, Because him and Andrew probably the tallest two guys on the stage.
How tall is? You know how tall this guy is?
I assume he's tall because I'm 5'6", bro.
Oh, he could be too.
Everyone's taller than us, Mike.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I know, right?
Jimmy, you're 6 foot, aren't you?
I'm 6'1". Well, I was 6'1".
Good Lord, you're a freaking giant.
Giant.
My brother just got back from Guatemala. He's 6. He used to be 6'1 3/4. I don't know what he is now, but he felt like a giant there because average male height in Guatemala is 5'3", 5'4". Wow. That's from adult men. Yes.
Lollipop Guild.
So I don't want to keep harping on the hottie thing, but man, I don't know.
Any word from him? Anything?
Dude,
that same group chat that I was in, somebody did say that they heard from somebody that saw him, said that he looked not like he normally does. I don't know what that means.
don't know where, but they saw him in the gym.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So he's definitely in the USA because I wasn't 100% certain he was really here, even though it was reported. But if somebody saw him in the USA, that's a good thing.
No, I it was confirmed to me that he was here.
Okay.
But there's no possible way your mind can be focused on the show.
Dude,
I get you're a warrior, you're an athlete, all that. But dude, like that's next level shit. Like that's not like losing a family, like, you know what I mean? Like that's a whole different. If I go to Publix and my house blows up, I'm gonna be pretty fucked up about it. You know what I mean? Like he can't go home. Like there's no home to go to.
I mean, does anybody? This is a long shot, but does anybody know if his family got out too?
No clue.
I have no idea.
Can you imagine being here and they're still in Iran? Right?
No.
Oh my God.
Right?
No.
I'd be losing my mind. You know, they're getting bombed to shit. Bombed out to the Stone Age. Oof.
Where's he go after the show? What do you do after the show? Like
exactly. He can't. Where's he going to go back to?
You know what I mean?
Dubai airport got bombed too. He can't even go back there.
Right.
Yeah, they just opened up the airports in Dubai.
Okay.
From what I read.
It's been a small bomb, but geez, I mean that when you say that, Chris, he's not looking. Imagine he comes out and this guy that's won the Olympia and won the Arnold. Imagine if he gets like 5th or 6th or 7th place. You know, they're going to give him what he deserves.
Yeah.
So, this ain't the old days.
You know what? I mean, I'm still going to feel bad for the guy.
Of course.
You know, it sucks when you're trying to do something that you love, that's your job, and then you've got other stuff that you really have no control over.
These guys from these countries, this literally their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's where I think that Hadi has shut everything down, right? And I mean, I just think because I know from the past his mindset is on a totally different level, and that's where he just shut it all down. He locked himself up and says, "Hey, I got to feed my family." And you put that mindset in, it's like, listen, I'm done. I got to feed my family. That's it.
Yeah,
that's a lot, man. His cortisol has got to be through the fucking roof, man, bro.
Well, if he doesn't think about it, he doesn't. He has to shut it down and say, "Hey, again, I got to feed my family. I want to win, so I can feed my family."
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he have 2 kids? He has 2 kids, right?
3, 4. He has 4 kids.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine. I hope and pray his family's not back there, but.
Oh God!
Even if he got his family out, now you can't go back to your home, and he owns a gym, and you're here with like a suitcase, and that's like you got to start over somewhere.
Literally.
And
go to Vegas. Everybody starts all over there.
I mean, if he wins, 750 is a nice way to start a new chapter somewhere else. $750,000.
He's made a lot of money. Like he's made a lot of money, and I did the conversion that our dollar goes a long way in Iran.
Yeah, but they have the power. The government can freeze your assets.
Oh, really?
That's not the USA. They can do whatever the fuck they want over there, and they do.
Christ.
You got to think of it this way: he wins the $750,000 check. Like, where is he going to cash it? Like, is he going to even have access to any of his finances?
Yeah. Where's it go?
Yeah. I mean, it's.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know the situation. Like, is he hated enough there that if he goes back, he's in real danger? I don't know.
I don't know, man. Like,
I get in trouble every time the Iranians say, "Shut up, you don't know." I always say I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just throwing questions out there.
and like I said, it's so far away from us. I can't imagine. Like, if I hear a firecracker or a pop, I think it's a pistol, right? I can imagine a bomb going off, right? It's just, I don't know, dude. That's just next. We worry about some insignificant shit. They're worried about like probably power and food, and your house slaps it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
the other day I was sitting downstairs with Tammy. We were watching TV, and all of a sudden we hear kids screaming, right? Dude, I thought like something like shocking happened, right? And there was just two kids, and one kid took the ball from the other girl, and the girl was just screaming. And that just shook up the whole neighborhood because you saw everybody come out.
Yeah.
At least everyone came out. That's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thankful that even happened.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I guess we have good neighbors.
Yeah, I mean that's there reminded me of a kid, in our neighborhood growing up, if someone got hurt and started screaming, like all the parents came out, like everything was okay. Like that's awesome to hear. When a kid's screaming bloody murder and no one comes out, that's when I'm like, okay,
That's a problem.
It was a little girl, 6 years old. You know that voice, that screaming voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'd never moved so fast in my life.
Wow. Is that his son with the mustache, with the full mustache, like a 12-year-old in the picture?
Yeah, he's probably like 10 and he's got a mustache, but
that's awesome.
That's the kid that they did his that's his son. That's the one that was chubby, and the other picture was mom.
Wow.
I bet he's like 13 or 14.
That's crazy.
Isn't that nutty?
Yeah.
Well, your dad's Hadi Chupan, so.
Yeah.
But I remember the New York Pro. It was one of those COVID years. No, whatever it was. Remember Ola Kurvy, the 212 from Ukraine?
Yes.
He prepped for that show while Kiev. He lived in the capital. They were getting bombed like crazy.
What?
And I remember interviewing him, and he was like, "Yeah, I just had to focus, but there were a lot of days where we wouldn't have electricity for a couple of days, we wouldn't have water for a couple of days." But he won that year too.
No excuses, man.
It can be done. It's just this is the next level, though. I mean, and there's a lot of speculation. Did he really lose his Evogen sponsorship, or is Evogen just kind of still paying him, but they don't want to publicly piss off all the people in Iran? The conspiracy theories running around Hadi have been insane these past few weeks.
It makes for an interesting sport, though. It keeps us talking. You know what I mean? We don't got ESPN, so we gotta do this.
We're TMZ.
Yeah, right.
Oh, let me ask you guys this question: how many Olympia employees are going to the Arnold this weekend?
Is this a rhetorical?
And what happened?
Rhetorical question?
I'm asking.
Oh, I mean, how would we know? But I assume they're all going.
How do you know? I heard that there's there's a lot of animosity.
Well, they're
between the Olympia and then the Arnold.
The Olympia team and the Arnold team.
Well, it's Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They're bitter rivals.
Yeah, Burger King and McDonald's.
Yeah.
Since when, Ron?
I'd say since Jake bought the Olympia. Before that,
you saw all the guys from the Olympia who work for the Olympia TV, all those guys who are under salary, whatever you want to call it, getting paid. They're all at the Arnold having fun. I don't think anybody's going this year.
Why would that be?
I think there's some hate going on between the two. There's some, listen, we knew back then that muscular development was Arnold Classic and flex and muscle and fitness was Olympia. We knew that.
Yeah.
Right? We knew that. Okay. But you still had the organizations support each other.
Well, you've seen I think the fact that the prize money keeps going up. Remember all those years, Arnold, out of respect for Joe Weider and the Joe Weider's Mr. Olympia contest, he always kept his prize money lower. He kind of made up for it. He gave them a Hummer and a nice watch and all this, but it was respecting. Once Joe passed away, he took the gloves, came off, and he
Right.
started bumping up the prize money. And now, for the first, who would have thought, even a few years ago, if you said the Arnold's going to have bigger prize money than the Olympian, like, shut up, no, they're not. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
Yep.
Brian Powers, he was on with
yeah.
Lee Priest and Xavier, and he was talking about the prize money, and they asked about the $1 million thing. He was just saying that they could do that, but then you'd have to raise up the second place. You could have $1 million for first, $250 for second, and it couldn't have the $1 million for first and Bikini getting what, like $50,000 or whatever. Like, it would have to fluctuate for the whole thing. But he was very transparent. And it was a really good interview. And I don't know, it's competition, right? Arnold's a competitor. That's what made him, that's what made it, like Ron said, he didn't overpay for Joe Weider, but competition is good. Can you imagine the first $1 million check? Everybody's gonna go ape shit.
Here's what I think. What might have happened the moment Brian took over, because Brian's not part of our world.
No,
right?
It's a comic book guy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that created some kind of friction because he did things. He didn't care about the IFBB. He didn't care about the NPC.
Yep.
I run this show. I do what I want to do. And Arnold's giving me a full pass to do whatever I need to do. Right.
He's got no emotion involved.
Right.
Cody
Business.
Grobot, what's up, man? Yeah, I mean, is this right? Did they start eliminating divisions when Brian came along?
I think so.
I think prior to that, they had all the divisions, just like the Olympia. And then Brian said, you know what? We're going to do whatever the fuck. We're going to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
212 is not making money or whatever they felt wasn't serving the greater good of the weekend in the bottom line, because it's a business.
Yep.
The Olympia doesn't have that option. They have to have everything. But
Why?
said,
But why?
Why? Because they're the official contest. They're the official. I don't know. It's Joe Weider's Mr. Olympia.
So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
If Rafael Sandoka turned around to Jake, or vice versa, Jake sold the Olympia to somebody else, and they said, Jim Mannion, I don't want your organization anymore. I'm going to go to Rafael, and I'm going to be their Mr. Olympia. Without the NPC, there is no Olympia, and without the Olympia, there's no NPC or IFBB. So basically, Jake holds the cards, all of them.
You don't think there's any sort of legally binding contracts and trademarks with the name Olympia?
There's always contracts. I don't think these guys are foolish enough to even do anything. They're all handcuffed to each other for a very, very long time, and there's definitely issues happening if something goes wrong, right? Legal matters. But let's just say I buy the Olympia. And I say, Jim Mannion bid on the Olympia, Rafael bid on the Olympia. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Because it's the road to the Olympia that's built these organizations. We're talking about business.
Yeah.
Business is business. Rafael gives me 50 million. Jim goes, I can't give you 50 million. Now, who flips? I go Rafael. These NPC IFBB competitors go IFBB Elite and the road to the Olympia. You see what I'm saying here? Like, a lot of people don't see this. Everybody needs everybody, and everybody's catering to everybody. It's a relationship that has to stay on the tracks.
Well, you remember, Jim, it was only a couple of years ago that several of the Arnold Classic shows were IFBB, and wasn't one or two of them elite?
Yes.
In the same season? They had two different federations. I think the Arnold Europe was elite.
Yes.
Yeah, Arnold Europe was elite. Was Brazil elite or
South Africa? There were two of them.
Yeah, there was two of them.
Yeah, and that was bizarre. I was like, what the?
Yep.
That was just a great. Arnold does whatever. Arnold can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's his show.
And again, right? It was the road to the Arnold. They picked at that Arnold. They picked the IFBB Elite, right? Obviously, that IFBB Elite is a weak organization, and we know why, right? But there are options out there. and truly, who is the real IFBB? Do we know?
I mean, it's Jim. Jim is the IFBB.
It's the man.
How do we know?
Well, I mean,
They told us.
it's crazy to think, like, what if the Olympia was bought by somebody and they said, yeah, we don't like the way you guys here at the IFBB do things. We're going to go with, there's really not many. Elite is like the only other pro organization I know of, and I couldn't name one of their athletes.
Or you create your own organization.
That's people were suggesting, why doesn't Arnold just do that? Because he's got the power, the connections, the money.
Because these guys are afraid. They would be afraid.
Oh yeah,
afraid to leave. Right? Like you would need somebody. You would need like. Well, I don't want to say Bill Gates because that's not good, but somebody of that kind of ilk with that kind of deep pockets to come along and say, we'll give you guys this kind of guaranteed money and we'll revamp the whole thing. Right. But listen, we've been dreaming about this shit forever. Bodybuilding is what it is. Like we're independent contractors. You would need Lunsford, Sampson, all those top guys to say, listen, man, this is what we want. This is what we need. This is how we're going to do it. If that's not going to happen, because they're dangling that prize like this, right? They're dangling it, and they're all like this, trying to get it. And there's only so much that goes around for everybody, right?
But so Mike, the WBF went to do it, but here's what happened: they didn't have the Olympia. They
had no feeder. They had no feeder organizations.
They didn't. There was no carrot there at the end.
Oh,
if Vince McMahon or any Vince McMahon had bought the Olympia, they could have created their own federation. Here's the thing: when there was a split of the IFBB, okay, there was a split of the IFBB, and we still don't know, Eric Weeder, who granted the real IFBB to. Nobody knows that. Okay, so you have the IFBB Pro League and you have the IFBB Elite. When they split, how did the NPC or the IFBB competitors know who was the real IFBB? Nobody knew. They just said, we are changing the IFBB to the IFBB Pro League, and here are your cards.
Yeah. It was a confusing time. I remember.
Huge.
It all blew. You were there in 2017. It all happened in that one Olympia weekend. It was insane. Huge. There was one IFBB on Friday, and by Sunday there were two.
Right. So you don't know. You don't know. Like these pros and these people were winning pro cards that weekend, and they didn't know that the original IFBB is gone. Are you now in the real IFBB, or are you not in the real IFBB? And who is the real IFBB? I'm not saying, do we give a shit right now? No, but I'm just saying that this all happened because somebody went to the left and they followed.
And there's no like real media that says, hey, this is what's going on. It's kind of like we heard this and we heard this. There's no like, IFBB Players Association, whereas like, NFL, they'll put a statement out. This is what's going on. With bodybuilding, it's just like, I got to hear it from Ron, who heard it from so-and-so, who heard it from this guy, until something really comes out. It's just, it's funny. It's on the outside looking in now. It's a little different because Wesley Mamaroni.
I think that's the top three for two different divisions.
Bro, I'm sorry. That lost the last name.
Mamoli.
But again, you don't know. So what happened is that the end of the day, it's the road to the Olympia. That's what everybody's fighting for. The NPC is fighting for the pro card. The pros are fighting the road to the Olympia.
Well, now I have a question on Jimmy though. So does, you have like, let's say like the Manions, right? Let's say like they're like the committee of the IFBB. And now Jake owns Mr. Olympia, right? Does Jake still have to answer to the Manions, because there's probably some legally binding contracts like saying like you have to call it the Olympia, you have to call it this, and the other thing. What I'm saying is I don't think the Manions would be willing to relinquish the word Olympia, meaning that say someone buys the Olympia, there might be a legally binding contract that they have to call it the Olympia. If they try to take it somewhere else, then it's no longer going to be called the Olympia. You know what I mean?
Who do you think owns the Olympia?
Jake, right? Jake
owns it.
Jake owns the Olympia. Yes, I know. But do you think there's any sort of binding clauses in that agreement that's saying like you have like them? Because the Manions are the president of the IFBB. So
he's the president of his own league. He created that league.
Who, Jake?
No, Jim Manion.
So he's the owner of the Pro League.
He's the owner of. He is the president and owner of the IFBB Pro League.
Pro League. Okay,
that's it.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It stops there. Now,
I just don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, you take the Olympia. No, you're right. You're half right. You take the Olympia, and the Olympia says, "Okay, Jim Manion, let's play ball. How do you want to play ball? What are you bringing to the table?" Obviously, there's years of relationships. There's you see what I'm saying? Like Jim Manion has built this thing to a monster. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying the business side of it. Okay, there's a business agreement here saying, hey, we will feed you athletes, you be at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, but you know what happens if anyone tries to start another organization? The IFBB goes, hey, if you compete in this organization, we revoke your pro card. You can no longer compete.
You can't do that no more. They tried doing that years ago.
Didn't they do that to Lee Pristo and NABA? Was it NABA?
That was years ago.
PDF, I think.
That was years ago. Anybody can leave now and go compete somewhere else. You go right back.
So you're saying IFBB pros can leave now and they can compete in like the PCA?
Yes.
No shit.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. How much?
I'm saying, I'm not against that because I feel like the athletes are getting paid prize money. They should have a right to compete where they want to compete in.
Listen,
what
do you get for a membership, for an IFBB Pro membership with the $400 or $500?
That card.
That's it. You get a card.
You don't get any benefits. You don't get any benefits. You don't get anything. No. So basically, what you're doing is you're paying $400 to compete at a event to show off your body. That's it. Let's break it down.
Yeah, that's all you get.
That's it.
Of course.
They don't owe you anything else, and you don't owe them anything else. Now, the next week, you go compete somewhere else.
Now, do you think doing that though, there's going to be some sort of political backlash?
Absolutely. But that's where the chokehold comes. You see what I'm saying? That's where the chokehold comes, and that's what happened years ago with some other athletes too. Mm-hmm. And they didn't even compete. They actually went to companies and got endorsement deals, and they never made it back to the top 5. Okay, but that's in every business.
Of course.
Hollywood, that's in every business.
I mean, if you want to play and you want to play good, you got to play the game.
Listen, you have to, if you want to play, you have to pay. And the people at the top don't say shit. It's the people on the bottom who haven't created the opportunity to play at the top level.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That goes with sponsorships. That goes with prize money. That goes with everybody who's complaining, or the people who don't want to get involved or just complaining.
I want to steer this back to the Arnold because there's one more rivalry. It's in the Classic that I wanted to talk about at least for a couple minutes. Was the 2024 and 2025 Classic Physique winners. Yeah. I think they're going to be the top 2 when it's all said and done. Mike and Wesley.
I really like seeing this. I really like this.
Yeah, they have so much more camaraderie. These Classics.
Yeah.
They really do.
You would never see us
ever
2 days, 3 days before with our clothes off, even talking to anybody. Nothing. It was like war. And these guys are like, hey, let me touch your abs, your skin, and this and that. Dude, when I would look at anybody. I looked you across the room like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
It's good for it's good for
I love this
content.
See, this is what I like to see. Like you get Classic Physique, which is supposed to, be reminiscent of like the golden era of bodybuilding with the type of aesthetics.
Yeah.
the golden era of bodybuilding also had crazy friendships and camaraderie.
Yeah.
And this is what I like to see. This is what I love about bodybuilding, because I've made so many friends from being in this sport. This is what I love to see. I love to see this. This is the positivity that makes it fun. Like, this is awesome, you know? It's not the whole swearing at each other on stage and picking shots and talking shit and accusing people of injecting
PMAA and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you know.
But the thing is, what I like about it is you got 2 days or 3 days, or maybe it's not even a week before, right? They're showing their shit. They don't care. Man, we didn't show nothing. Even backstage, like, it was like 30 seconds before you got on stage, you just throw your shit off.
Who's that? Is that Martin?
That's Martin, I think. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm able to see Martin. This is crazy. Ha ha, Martin. Wesley screwed you over.
The whole world.
Ron Harris saw you on Instagram, sucker. Yeah, I mean, it's oh yeah, it is. Oh boy, Martin looks smaller.
Wesley's shoulder.
I mean, I know Wesley's like 6'3" or 6'4", and Martin's probably 5'6".
I don't know, Ron. Is Wesley Ronning Martin right now?
Yeah.
You're the expert on it, you know?
Yeah, the Ronning, that is a term they use in New England, but the young kids, the kids these days, they call it mogging. Isn't that right?
Mogging, yeah. Yep, mogging.
I only know because my son's he's one of the older Gen Zs, but
look at the size of Wesley's head.
I mean, look at how big he's just
holy shit, dude. Look at that noggin.
Wesley's got an incredibly strong chin.
Yes.
Well, they're all
I never met Wesley, and I heard he was just an awesome guy. Yeah. So it'd be really cool to just, you know, shake his hand one of these days.
No, that wasn't Martin. That's Momoli. That's Momoli. Everyone's correcting me.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. We really.
Wow, damn.
Wow, we feel suck.
Small. He's not that small. So this is who I think has a good chance of third place. Not huge, but geez, that shape. Look at that.
Very Lee Labrada-ish in that pose.
Yeah.
Look at that. Feet together. Look at his feet are together.
Feet together.
Not riding that Harley.
That's such a beautiful physique. The vacuum is a little different though in the lat spread.
Milos would not like the vacuum. I'll tell you that right now.
What are you showing your ribs for? You're showing your ribs.
Yeah. Show the abs. They sent a piece of physique. Look at the detail there.
And that's what, you know what? These guys get so cross-striated in detail, man.
Well, that's why I'm glad. I every time they bring up, should they take away the weight cap? I'm like, no.
No,
you do that,
no.
The condition is going to go. We're not going to see condition like this.
Hey, how many guys do you think in the last 3-4 years that if they let their bodies go, they would be in the open now with no problem?
Quite a few.
Instead of trying to lose muscle just to make weight.
Oh,
I mean, I feel like Mike Summerfield would probably be one of those guys for sure.
Yeah,
what about Wesley?
You know,
well, why doesn't Wesley do it? That's
he's
a good
tall,
question.
man. Like that's a lot of size. What is he? 6'3"? 6'3" that's bigger than Lou Ferrigno type size.
Yeah,
almost. You know what I mean? He was 300 pounds, 320 on stage.
Yeah.
Now they're roasting me because I thought that was Martin. Well,
I thought it was Martin.
We all kind of thought it was Martin. I was just going by the skin complexion.
Yeah.
And we were off. You know, well, that was Boss Outlaw, right? So maybe Martin was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
He's somewhere there.
And here we are saying, man, Martin looks small.
that was me. That was wrong.
That's why you're blocked, Ron.
6'2". He's definitely more than 6'2". I hear 6. I think he is 6'3". He claims 6'3". I've stood next to him, and it's hard for a short king like me to be accurate, but I'd say he's every bit of 6'3". That's not Martin, guys. We know now. Yeah.
Thanks,
I love how they'll correct me for like the next. I don't want to be.
We're retarded. We just lost all our credibility.
I get it.
Oh shit!
Jesus, people, relax.
Yeah. So they're going to be judged first. So that's the very first pro division to be judged at the Arnold. It's going to be Friday at 12:30. Classic Physique is the very first thing we're going to see. I'll be doing a watch party. I hope I get away with it because I'm going to be showing their screen. It's free. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking money out of their pocket. But Mike, you're the one that said you watched the podcast and they spent $450,000 on this.
Yeah, and they have a sponsor. They have a sponsor. That's what it costs for the webcast, just for the Arnold Columbus. It cost something else for the Arnold UK. But he was laying out. The money they spend going into the show is astronomical, man. Like I think we don't appreciate. Some people may not appreciate what they put on, what it takes to put this show on. Right? Just we sit down, free webcast. Well, shit, But like it's a lot. He looked tired in the interview. Like he just looked like he looked a little tired, man. Like it's a lot going on for him.
I think,
but it was.
All the Olympian Arnold people, I think for like the last 2 weeks before the show, they barely speak.
Yeah.
But it's just it was just interesting to hear from his perspective, right? And when he's a very calm, he talks just like this. It's a very calming voice when he talks, but it was interesting as all hell to hear what goes into that. And he did mention the security because he was saying, obviously when Arnold was governor, there's security in place, and there's always bomb sniffing dog. We don't see what goes on. I'm sure there's plainclothes people there, and they're not stupid. They're aware of what's going on in the world today, so they know. I'm sure there'll be height security, even metal detectors or whatever. So shout out to the mayor. Dan Dillon's on his way there now. He was giving me updates all day long today. Going to fucking Columbus, man. But
is it cold up there? Is it snowing? What's going on?
It's gonna be 60 this week, dude. It's in the 60s all week. 65.
70.
That's summer. That's summer weather up there.
Summer, dude.
Me and Giles got caught in a snowstorm one time there. We couldn't get a cab back from one of the after parties like 5 miles away from our hotel. We gave the last.
I had some 0-degree weather days there a couple times, dude. But you're feeling good, so you don't really feel it. So you're just great.
We this is true. We gave the last cab to a bunch of midget wrestlers. It's true.
What?
Honest to God, I can't even make shit like that up. They were at a booth. They were little people, and they were pro wrestlers, and we felt bad because they were outside in the snow waiting. Like the cab pulled up, like let's take the cab, guys. Take the cab.
Did you feel bad because they were short? Why'd you feel bad?
Well, yeah, that's it, because they were short. Yeah,
they could have sat on your lap.
I mean, they were even shorter than me. So
that's awesome, dude. Yeah. Only at a bodybuilding show, meatheads and like midgets.
Yeah, so I dropped the ball because apparently a lot of other YouTubers have been putting like ads for the live stream on their thing. And
Oh, really?
But I will say, guys, ArnoldSports.com. If you go to the website, you go to live, and it takes literally 20 seconds to read. They just want your email address. That's all they want. They don't want a dime, no credit card info. And it's 100% free. That is so great. So great.
And Sam Saluk, so everybody, when he loses, people are going to think it's fixed. Politics are going to be involved.
I hope Sam can crack top 12. There's only top 10. There's 12 guys in Classic. So he should be able to, well, he's got to beat 2 people. If he's going to be top 10.
It's his second show. What a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, dude.
I was one of those guys in the beginning. It's like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
But you know what, man? He just kept going and going and going. And you got to commend him. He's just, he's won me over.
He's a meathead. He's just a meathead, bro.
I was a hater. He made me a fan. He did.
Yeah. I wasn't a hater, but I was like, whatever.
Stupid broccoli air, and he drinks fucking chocolate milk, and he's eating donuts. And
he actually lost me with the cereal and chocolate milk, and I'm like, he's gonna.
He cleaned.
Don't hate on cereal.
Yeah. He did clean the diet up, but no, I mean, he coached himself. And he could have. I talked to Milos about this. Anybody would have coached him for 100% for free. Anybody. Aceto, Boss.
Do you think he would have looked better than he is now?
Nope.
Let's see.
Nope. What could they have done that he didn't do for himself?
Nothing.
He's shredded.
Right.
His shape is what it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The structure. What could a coach have done for this kid?
So if Sam did it all by himself, why can't like a Derek Lunsford do it, or all these other people do it?
That's a good question.
We're going to see how it pays off for Nick.
Yeah.
True. Nick doing it, and maybe Hottie's been doing it on his own too. We don't know. It's very likely that he has.
I coached myself for years, and my first national show, I was like, nope, I can't make these judgment calls properly. I'm hiring a coach.
Yeah, you're on the fence.
At that level, yeah.
I mean, I think it's the last like 2 to 3 weeks is when you lose your mind.
Yeah, all you need is a good second pair of eyes. That's it.
Right.
I'm sure Guy has been helping Nick. They own that gym together, don't they? They're partners in that gym or whatever. So I'm sure.
Guy
Listen,
has been a second eye for Nick.
yeah, you know what I mean. So like, he's in good hands. He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Sam can win. Sam's winning regardless. Sam could place 12th and he's winning.
And he's got a Raw contract too. He's okay.
He's got a Raw contract where he's got the 3D thing coming out. He's got a drink.
Gym Reapers too, or the Gym Sharks,
Shark.
or whatever.
Oh, is he going to have his own energy drink coming out?
Well, 3D was what's his name down in Texas, and now they merged. They bought in. Dom bought into it, and I think they're going to come out with a flavor just for Sam or something this weekend.
That's cool.
I'm trying.
And isn't Lunsford announcing his partnership this weekend too?
For what?
His new contract, Derek's new supplement thing.
Next sponsor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek said he had an announcement I think he was making, right?
Yeah. This weekend.
I was trying to find. There's a post the Arnold people made. They're having. They only showed like 3 people for the like meet and greet, and it was like, I think it was Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, and Sam Sulek.
Yeah, dude. Sam was on the fucking poster with Ronnie and Jay.
Why can't I find it? But that's. I mean, he's as popular as Jay Cutler and Ronnie Coleman.
That blows my mind. That blows my
Insane.
mind.
There's people now that know who Sam Sulek is that have no clue who Ronnie Coleman is.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like who's this cripple, you know?
Ah,
it's like, hey, you better watch your tone, buddy.
Right.
Get your skating on
Honestly,
thin ice.
all of us get all offended. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
how dare you?
right.
I wish I had that audio clip of Greta. What's her name? Thunberg. Where she goes, "How dare you?" That was a fun of the United Nations. Yeah, good times. All right, well, that is it, guys. So a week from today, when we can hopefully all talk again, we'll have all the results.
Oh shit.
We'll know how everybody looked. It's crazy to think how long these build-ups to the shows and then they're over like that. It's like when you prep for. It's like when you prep for a show. It's like,
yeah.
Is anybody going? You guys going?
No.
No, I fly out. I have to go to Ohio on the 9th, so I fly out this coming Monday. So I'll be there. I think, and I come back Thursday. So I'll be on the podcast if I'm invited again next Wednesday. But I will be in Ohio.
dude, everybody loves you and Jimmy and Mike. Come on.
OHIO. Enjoy, Chris.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
As long as I keep losing followers, I'll keep coming back.
Jimmy, I stole your format, so don't get mad. But I said, Jimmy writes these nice posts for his social media. I'm supposed to be a writer, and all I ever do is like, here's me in 2013. Like I actually wrote one today, and I give you the credit for inspiring me. Maybe that's why you have way more followers because you've been around forever and you look like a Greek god. But these things don't hurt. And, Chris, keep crushing it with those insane weights.
Trying.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, that's some impressive ass shit, bro.
I won't say it inspires me because I'm never doing that shit again, but it's very entertaining. I like to see it.
It
I
definitely
got
makes me look
some
back.
other
Yes.
videos I got of some presses on Monday that I got to upload. So
Dude, that shit looks easy too. Like that was like nothing.
So, Chris, what show are you doing? The Nationals?
So no, I start official prep, I believe, last week, second to last week of this month.
Okay.
And the show we're going for is North Americans.
Okay.
I do have to requalify again, so I don't know what show yet. I kind of have one picked out of my mind. My coach wasn't too crazy about it, but I really want to do that one just because it's a little bit less travel. So yeah.
So let me ask you this question. I know Ron wants to go because he wants to eat or take a piss. But let me ask you this question. At this point, are you like planning a strategy to qualify, or is it an ego thing? I want to go and win this big show and qualify. Like
No, it's strategic.
Right. It's like, let me pick a show that's really easy. Let me get this over with, and let me start peaking, and let me get ready for peaking for the
correct. Yeah. So
right?
my coach originally wanted me to do a show that was like 2 weeks before North Americans.
Right.
I personally don't like that because I'm usually wiped and I need a little bit of time to recoup.
Right.
So I want to do a show that's about a month before or 3 weeks before. So
Okay.
I'm doing the math in my head right now. So North American, is that early September?
Yeah, September 2nd through the 4th.
So you're looking to do something maybe early August?
Patriot Cup is the one I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, is that in Mass? Is that the one in Springfield?
That's the one. It used to be in Springfield. It's in Connecticut now.
Okay.
But that's like the first weekend of August.
Who promotes that?
About 4 weeks.
So
Who's the
like,
promoter?
is it the Powerhouse Gym, the Scalise's, or no? Not
I think it's Montanari that might be doing
Montanari.
it.
Montanari. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what it's their show.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, do that. Win that one. Come on now.
So that's what I want to do.
Chris, how much do you weigh here on the picture?
There,
That's a nice
it was
shot.
I think it was only 202 there.
It's a big 202, bro.
Because I weighed in, I made weight at 196, which was a bitch. It was terrible. To make light heavies.
Are you going heavy this year?
I'll be heavy this year for
Oh,
sure.
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I can't wait.
Too, bro.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think I definitely made some improvements,
See, I petitioned for a new class because I was always between 202 and 205. I wrote so many letters to Mannion trying to start a class called Barely Heavyweight. I didn't even get a response. I think he just thought I was.
They should have called the division Smedium.
See, there you go.
Who's Pantano now? He's got a hairy chest, I see. All the bears.
Yeah, a little bit. It grows. All my hair from my head migrated everywhere else.
Tell me about it, dude.
For a health phase, dude, you're thick as hell.
Yeah, it's a good density, man.
Very nice, man.
So
23 years of heavy lifting, and first 10 years was all natural. So I built a good base.
And
That's
injuries?
My worst injury I ever had was falling down the stairs, and I completely ruptured my PCL in my left knee.
Oh, shit.
It's still gone. I never got it.
Oh, really?
It's high risk. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
problems with doing legs or squat stability or anything?
clearly
No.
not.
Well, obviously not.
No.
Was this done after that injury?
No, this was 2018.
Oh, okay.
Jesus fucking Christ. Look at that
Yeah.
weight, dude.
I only weighed about like 220 or 221 there. I was pretty.
Have you done that again?
I've not done that weight again, but
It's like an interrogation or something. Look at
yeah,
us.
no, I mean, I haven't barbell squatted squatted since 2023
Fuck.
because I was 8 weeks out from nationals and I was warming up, stretching to squats, and I dislocated my SI joint,
Oh.
and I couldn't even walk for 3 days, and I was like scared shitless. I wasn't gonna be able to compete and everything. So, I mean, I want to squat again. My coach does not want me squatting, so we just don't want to do the heavy bracing in the stomach.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're listening to your coach.
Okay. So to put it in perspective, you're 220 there, and you got no squat suit. When Ronnie did it.
Just knee wraps and a belt.
Yeah.
What do you think Ronnie weighed in that video? Like about 300, I'm guessing.
He was over
Yeah.
300.
Yeah.
And they had to do like a time lapse of the guys putting the squat suit because I think it took them about a half hour and two strong guys to get that suit on them.
Isn't that where he heard the pop, or was it the front squats?
It was a front squat.
The front squats.
Yep.
Ooh. Huh.
God damn.
Solid ass pounds. Well,
Awesome.
Yeah. Had no desire to ever do powerlifting ever.
Really?
that's crazy.
That was fasted, no food, no pump.
Look at this. I'm looking at the back wall. You got your wife.
The pinhead?
You got Pinhead. You got Venom.
Yep.
Dude, if you had some Reagan Exorcist shit, you'd be my best friend. Oh well, close enough.
I have an Exorcist coaster.
Do you really?
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of coasters that are all just like horror movies and stuff.
Can you see? You can't really make it out, but I have like an Exorcist, a painting that my son-in-law got me when he was in Australia one time. Of course, I have the crappy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, anyway.
I love horror movies. I also have an actual lament configuration from Hellraiser too.
Ah. Quick, I don't want to make this all horrible. What did you think of the Hellraiser remake where Pinhead was a female?
It's not like the first two.
Dude, I mean,
I didn't mind it because I just love the lore and everything, with Leviathan and all that stuff. I just I like that iconic Pinhead voice.
Yeah. I met that guy at a horror convention. I was so underwhelmed because
Were you really?
I mean, he's a little nerdy guy. He's a little British Doug Bradley. He's like he was sitting down, but he gets so tiny. That was almost bad. I met Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger.
No shit.
Way back. This was like 88, 87, 88 at a horror convention in Boston. And I was like, oh no. When I saw him, I was like, oh, that's Freddy Krueger. Because
You know what they say, never meet your idols.
Yeah.
he came up to here on me. He was like $120 soaking wet.
That movie was traumatic. I don't know why I watched that when it came out. I think a friend of mine, I was like 10 years old in 83. I don't know why a 10 or 11-year-old kid was watching. Had the worst nightmares, like that 1, 2, Freddy's cut. That just ruined me for that and Friday the 3rd. Remember, like Faces of Death? Those? What are we doing, man?
Faces of Death. Probably not every, but all the dorky kids rented that from the video stores back in the early mid 80s.
Yeah.
And I had flashbacks, like bad dreams from that for years, because I found out later a lot of it was fake.
Was it really?
Yeah, somewhere. I downloaded all the videos from on Napster back in the day.
Napster, holy shit.
That's going back.
Ron, did you ever meet Kane Hodder, the guy who played Jason?
I saw him. I didn't go up to him, but he's a big dude.
That's what I'm saying. I heard he's actually a pretty big, intimidating looking guy.
He's big. He's, sitting down, he was like almost as tall as me standing up. I think he's like 6'5" or something.
Yeah.
The one that surprised me, Danny Trejo. Didn't you think he was a tall guy? Or at least
I just assumed he was short.
He is short. Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
He's old as hell. He's in his late 70s.
He looks like he's I would assume he's like 6'3" and like scary.
No,
I figured he's like 5'7", 5'6".
Oh,
I might have still been 5'8" when I met him because I've been shrinking, but he was probably like 5'6", 5'7".
Oh, that lure's gone now.
No, it's still Danny Trejo. He was still the bartender from Dusk Till Dawn.
And it's true.
Yeah,
movie.
Great movie, by the way.
Kane Hodder though was a very large man. I remember.
God damn.
All right, guys, that's about it. That's about enough of us.
So, gentlemen.
Man, guys. So Arnold coming up, guys. Where can you watch it free? Here, but of course, if it's on, I'll be on here live doing watch parties. Big Mike Cox, are you working Friday, Mike?
Dude, never for the Arnold.
So you can join me and Mike. Giles probably join us. I know he's going to be there for the judging. So hang out with us Friday afternoon, Friday night, and of course Saturday night for the finals. We're going to have a good time. We'll be talking shit, not talking mess. That's Chris's other podcast, the Talking Mess podcast. Check that out. And I want to thank the panel once again, going clockwise. Big Mike Cox, who was representing himself today as Terry Pastel. Great French Bible. Jimmy Mentis, Greek God, IPB Pro. I'm just going to call you Greek God from now on, man. And of course, the world's strongest human being, Chris Pantano. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you all watching the Meathead Podcast once again. And we'll see you right here next time.